can download and you can follow that book. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to look into the MapReduce programming. And in the previous section, we looked into the Hadoop MapReduce framework, where we looked into the MapReduce model, how it can be done with a simple illustration of a manually counting a particular word from a particular document. Then it is being implemented with a command line using grep and the word count command, that is WC, with the parameter of -L. That is how we are able to get the count as a map reduce. The grep will do the mapping process, and the WC -L command will do the reducing process. Both together were combined with a pipe. Okay. That output will form as a output of a map reduce programming. Same thing was implemented using the shell scripting, where we created a mapper shell script which will take the input as a complete data file and produce the key value pairs, whatever the key we are looking for, key and the value pair. For example, it would be checking for we had the word kutuzo comma 1. Whenever it sees a one instance of a kutuzo, it will generate a tuple which will be kutuzo comma 1, and whenever it is finding, it will keep on producing that. And another keyword that was produced was the Petersburg, and whenever Petersburg word is found, it will generate the key Petersburg comma 1, that is the tuple it will generate. And the reducer shell script, it will take those as a input, and it will start counting the each of those instances of respective keywords. That is how the output of the reducer will be kutuzo and the total count. And total count is nothing but the sum of all the key value pairs that is generated by the MapReduce program, and the other key was the Petersburg comma the sum of all the instances of the appearance of that particular word in the document. Then we looked into the fault tolerance. Fault tolerance is nothing but how MapReduce programming can easily recover any failure of a mapper or a reducer program, and it will restart those processes without any problem because of the redundancy in the data. That is one thing. And second thing is the because the input data is unmutable, we cannot change the input data, so we can easily spawn another process which will do similar calculations. And then we looked into speculative execution. Speculative execution is nothing but whenever due to various reasons, disk failure, network failure, it's very difficult to understand the exact status of the cluster, and this might cause the slowness in processing of the MapReduce programming. In such situation, the framework will spawn a duplicate process of the processes which it thinks are running slow, and based on which one completes first, it will terminate the other process. That is how it is a speculative execution, that is called as a speculative execution, where if there is any potential problem with any process, the other process will take care of completing the MapReduce programming. This has overall performance impact, but if you consider the completeness of the program, there it will complete without any problems. Today we'll look into the MapReduce programming. The topics that we are going to see in this particular section is the classic Java word count program for Hadoop is compiled and it is run. So we will see a Java program for the word count program. Then similarly, a Python word count application using the Hadoop streaming interface. We are going to use a streaming interface, and we will use the word count. We will create that word count application using the Python programming. And next one is the C++ version of the word count using Hadoop pipes interface. So using Hadoop pipes interface, so we will implement the same word count application using C++ programming. An example of MapReduce chaining is presented using the Hadoop grep example. We will see this grep example, and then we will see the how what are the different strategies that can be followed for the debugging of the MapReduce program. Okay. The Apache Hadoop word count.java program for Hadoop version 2 is equivalent of the C programming language hello world.c example. It's very similar to what we do the hello world example, how we get started with the C programming, introduction to C programming. Similarly, we can think this word count.java program as a beginner program where we will understand how the MapReduce programming can be written, compiled, and executed. It should be noted that two versions of this program can be found on the internet. The Hadoop version 1 example uses older API, that is org.apache.hadoop.mapred. This is the older API that is for the Hadoop version 1, and for the Hadoop version 2 there is a newer API, that is org.apache.hadoop.mapreduce. This is the API that we are going to use. If you experience errors compiling the word count Java, double click the source code and Hadoop version. So if there is any error, then we have to check the what are the versions of the source code and what is the version of the Hadoop, whether we are using the right API or not. Okay, so we will see the programming. Compiling and running the Hadoop word count example. So this is the name of the file is word count.java. So word count matches with the public class. We have the public class word count, and these are the different packages that we are going to import. Java IO exception, then java.util.string tokenizer we are going to use. Then from Apache Hadoop, a couple of packages that will be imported. One is org.apache.hadoop .conf.configuration. So this is a configuration file. Then Hadoop file system path. So when we are dealing with a file system, so we need to have that particular package that we have to include, that is fs.path. Then hadoop.io.int writables, hadoop.io.text. Then these are the MapReduce. And this is the for version 2. This is the new package that we are going to use, MapReduce. For version 1, it is going to be MapRed. Okay, that is the API. From MapReduce, we are going to use the .job, .mapper, .reducer, and .lib.input file input format and file output format. Those are the different packages we are going to be using for our word count Java program. Now we start with the public class word count, and we have a public static class tokenizer extends mapper. Inside that we have a tokenizer which is a static class which extends a mapper. Okay, and mapper, it has object text and int writable objects that it will take. Then that is the first class that we have here, and it has private final static int writable 1 is equal to int writable 1. So this is the object we are creating, int writable object, and we are giving the value of 1. So that is the one object. You can see it is final and static. So we will have only it is like, you can consider it is a constant. Okay, this is constant object. Then we are going to create a object called word, which is of type text, and it is private. So these are all private, and word is equal to new text. So word will have a object of type text. Then we have a function called as map. Okay, public void map. This map program does not return anything, and these are the values. These are the parameters it will take: object, text context, okay, and it throws IO exception and comma interrupted exception. It's going to throw these two kinds of exception. It's not going to handle it. Whoever is calling that map program needs to handle or rethrow those IO exceptions. Then we have a string tokenizer object ITR. Then we are going to give the new string tokenizer, and the parameter we are going to give as the value, whatever the value that is being passed to this particular map, that value dot to string, it will be converted into a text. Now this is a tokenizer. Whatever the value the particular map program gets, it will tokenize it. Okay, ITR, it will have the complete input value is converted into a token of a string tokenizer type, and then that ITR is iterated through. How to do that? While ITR dot has more tokens. If there is a tokens, then it will come. If this condition is true, then it will come inside word dot set. Now we are going to set the word dot set. Then whatever we have the value ITR dot next token. Then context dot write is equal to word comma one. Whatever the word we find, and we will put one. This is you can just imagine the one we saw, the mapper program which was created using a shell script. It is very similar to that. It is like in the shell script, what we were doing, we were creating a key and a value pair. If you remember, the keyword was Kutuzo comma 1, that is a number 1 we had. Here we have a 1 is a int writable object that completes the map function. And we have one more class which is representative of the reducer program, public static class, and name of the class is int sum reducer, and it extends the reducer. If you see, the first class, it extended the mapper, and second class, that is int sum reducer, it extends the reducer. And these are the thing that would be required: text, int writable, text, and int writable. Then inside the class we have a private int writable result is equal to new int writable. So we are going to create a new object of int writable, that is referenced by the result variable. Then we have the method called as a reduce, public void reduce, and it's going to take a key of type text, then values which is iteratable of type int writable, and we have the context, and it also throws IO exception, interrupted exception. Those are the two exception it is going to throw. Inside the reduce program, we have initialized sum is equal to 0, which is of type integer, and for int writable, so we are going to parse through that int writable val colon values. Okay, so if there is a value available, then it will sum plus is equal to means sum is equal to sum plus val dot get. So whatever the val is there, if you remember, in val dot get, we are going to get the int writable object. Okay, that is one we are going to get. So it will keep on adding those so that it will find the sum. Then result dot set is equal to sum. Whatever the sum we get, we are going to store it. This is very similar to the reducer shell script, where we were looking for the whether the key value that is present is Kutuzo. Then if it is Kutuzo, then we are going to add the value 1. So if there are n key value pairs of particular keyword, then the sum would be is equal to n. Then context dot write key and the result. Then we have the public static method, main method, public static void main. This is the signature of the main method, and we are taking a arguments of type string. Then it throws exception. Inside that we have a configuration object. Conf is equal to new configuration object. Similarly, we have a job. These are coming from the map reduce. If we say as saw inside the Hadoop, we have a map reduce package. Inside the map reduce package, we have all the things which are required for creating a map reduce program. First, we would need a job mapper reducer. Then these are the input and the output file formats. So we are creating the job configuration object and the job object. For creating the job object, job dot get instance, that is the method you are going to call, which will return a object of type job, and you will pass the conference, and you will provide a name for this particular job, that is word count. Then job dot set jar by class. So we have to, once you create the job, you have to set the jar. Okay, jar by class, set jar by class, for which you will provide the dot class file. When we are going to compile this particular file, the name of our public class is word count. Okay, the name of the public class is word count. Inside that we have some static classes, two static classes, inside which we have a map and the reduce functions, and those will provide the implementation for the mapper and the reducer. Once successfully we compile the word count, we are going to get the word count dot class file. That is our class file. So this particular method, job dot set jar by class word count dot class, this is where you are setting the class. Then job dot set mapper class. So we have created the mapper class inside. So when the class is word count class is compiled successfully, it is going to create word count dot class, then tokenizer mapper dot class, then it going to create the int sum reducer dot class. These are the two classes that are present inside this particular class. So it is going to create a dot class file each of the for each of the classes. Then job dot set mapper class, it is nothing but you are setting the mapper process, which is nothing but tokenizer mapper dot class. Inside the tokenizer mapper dot class, we have the map program. So if you come back here, so this is the class. Inside this class, we have the map program. So it extends the mapper. So mapper has the map implementation that needs to be provided. So this is the implementation for the map. Then we have job dot set combiner class. You already know combiner class is the one which will do pre-reduction process. Like if there is any pre-reduction process that is required, you can use the combiner class. Here we are not using any separate combiner class. We are just going to use the whatever the reducer class we have, that is int sum reducer dot class. And job dot set reducer class, this particular set reducer class method will set the reducer process, and the reducer process is inside the int sum reducer dot class. We have already see the this particular class has a reduce function. Then job dot set output key class, the output key class would be text dot class. Then job dot set output value class int writable dot class, that is the output class. These are the file formats. File input format dot add input path, we are going to provide this particular job which we created, and we are going to create a new path, and these are going to be the argument, the first argument. Then output path, wherever we are going to write the output, we will set using the set output path. give the same job object, comma, new path, and we will provide the a second argument. Then system.exit job dot wait for the completion. If it is true, this particular program will return 0. Otherwise, if there is any failure, it will return 1. So this particular job dot wait for completion, it will start the job, and this particular process will not complete until this job is map reduce job is completed. Once the map reduce job is completed without any error, then it will return a true. Okay, if that is a true, then 0 will be returned from word count program, saying that the execution is successful. If there is any failure, this particular value would be false, then it will return the 1 value. So system.exit will exit with a value of 1. Whichever is calling word count will come to know by reading the status 1, and it will understand that particular execution map reduce function execution has failed. Okay. Word count is a simple application that counts the number of occurrences of each word given input set. The example will work with all the installation presented. Okay, we have already seen the installation. So this is how the key value pairs will be created. As the MapReduce framework operates exclusively on key value pairs. That is, the framework views the input to the job as a set of key value pairs and produces a set of key value pairs of different types. The MapReduce job proceeds as follows. You can see this is the input, then we have a key value pair, and the output of the map program is a key value pair. Then optionally we will have a combiner. Okay, again it will produce a key value pair. Then we have a reduce program which is a key value pair, that is the output. The mapper implementation via map method processes one line at a time as a provided by the specified text input format class. It then splits the line into tokens separated by white spaces using a tokenizer, string tokenizer, and emits key value pair of word comma 1. That is what it happens here. So this is the step we have seen that. So it will give a key value pair of word comma 1. So this is the code snippet of the map which we already saw. Okay, given the input file that contains hello word by word and hello Hadoop goodbye Hadoop, the word count mapper will produce two maps. Suppose if you have input file and which has a content like this is the first line hello word by word, and you have the second line hello Hadoop goodbye Hadoop. How the mapper will produce the output says it will produce two maps. First one is hello comma 1. This is the first word hello comma 1, then word comma 1, then by comma 1, then word comma 1. So this is the output of the first map. The second map hello comma 1, then next word is Hadoop comma 1, then third one is goodbye comma 1, the last one is Hadoop comma 1. Now how to set as can be seen here, word count sets the mapper. So this is the statement where we set the mapper. So job dot set mapper class tokenizer mapper dot class. Then a combiner we are using we don't have a separate class for the combiner. We are using the same reducer class, and for reducer we are using the reducer class, that is int sum reducer, using the job set reducer class. And hence the output of each map is passed through the local combiner, which sums the values in the same way as the reducer for local aggregation, then sends the data to the final reducer. Thus each map above the combiner performs the following preconditions. Now we know that the mapper will give the output to the combiner, and since we have the combiner very similar to the what reducer does, so it will add up the same key value counts. So in the first case, the first map in the first map we have hello 1, word is 1 by 1, word is 2. So combiner will combine this key word and this word into 1, and it will increase the count by 2. Similarly, the combiner here we have same Hadoop word coming twice, so it will have the hello comma 1, Hadoop comma 2, and goodbye comma 2. That would be the output of the combiner. So you can see this is the output of the combiner. Here word is counted as 2 and Hadoop is counted as 2. And this particular value is given to the reducer. The reducer implementation via reduce method simply sums the values which are the occurrences counts for each key. The relevant code section is as follows. We have already seen the code. This is the program for the reduce. Okay, this is the function for the reduce, and it will add the all the relevant key counts, whichever the instances we have for particular key, that will be counted, and we will get the result. So this is the final output. From combiner, the output will go to the reducer, and reducer final output will be like this: by comma 1, goodbye comma 1, Hadoop 2 instances, hello world 2 instances, word 2 instances. That is the output we are going to get. And the source code is, as I told you, already it is available, and the location has been provided in the appendix section of the book. uh, to compile the and run the program in the command line, we have to follow this particular steps. We have to make a local directory called word count underscore classes, and to create the directory, we know the command make directory mkdir space name of the directory word count underscore classes. This will create a folder called word count under classes. Then compile the word count.java program using the Hadoop class path command. So we have to use the Hadoop class path so that all the Hadoop related jars will be available, and those classes will be included. To include all available Hadoop class paths, how to do that? Javac, that is the Java compiler, then -cp, that is the class path. Class path, we are giving it as a inside a single quote, Hadoop space class path, so that it will use the all the available Hadoop class paths. Then -d, that is the directory, word count under classes space name of the Java file, that is word count.java. And after successful completion, we can if there are any compilation error, that should be debugged. Okay, we have to check what is the error, and we have to debug. Once all the errors are taken care, the file will be successfully, it will be compiled, and the dot class files will be created. So there would be three dot class files that will be created: one for the word count, one for the mapper class, one for the reducer class. The jar file can be created using the following command. Once we have the all the class files created, we can create a jar file using jar space -cvf space word count dot jar, then -c. You will provide the location of the directory, that is word count underscore classes. Now to run the example, create an input directory in HDFS and place the text file in new directory. For this example, we will use the same text file var and piece.txt, that is the file, and it has to be placed in the HDFS location. And before you place it in the HDFS location, make sure you create a folder and you put the particular file into that HDFS folder. Now, how to create folder in the HDFS? We have already seen the command is HDFS space DFS hyphen make directory. So this particular statement is it will create the directory in the HDFS. And what is the name of the directory? Var hyphen and hyphen piece hyphen input. That is the name of the directory that was created in the HDFS. And already you have this particular text file, war and peace dot text file, inside your local file system. From local file system, you need to copy into this particular directory which you newly created. How to do that? The command that is used is a put. HDFS DFS hyphen put. Put will place the local file into the HDFS. So war and peace.txt is copied onto this particular directory, war and peace input, which is on the HDFS. Now to run the word count application, we can use this particular command. If you remember the way we ran the Pi example programs, we looked into the all the Hadoop example programs, how to execute the example programs. In that, we just ran one or two out of that. We how to run that particular Pi example. We already saw using the Hadoop jar files. Hadoop space jar word count.jar. In this particular, the application that is available is with the word count.jar, then name of the application word count, and we are giving war and peace input. In this folder, this is the folder location. In this folder, we have the input file. So war and peace.txt file is inside here, and whatever the reducer is going to create the output, that will be stored in the HDFS and in this particular folder, var hyphen and hyphen piece hyphen output. This is the output folder on the HDFS. If everything is working correctly, Hadoop messages for the job should look like the following. So this is the just the example output. If everything works fine, the minute you run this particular command, you will be seeing the output something like this. Okay. So after execution, whichever you see capital info, that is for the information, just to provide you a status with how the execution is happening. So here timeline service address, it is giving that particular information. Then client RM proxy connecting to resource manager. Then warning is, you should not be worried, these are not the failures or the errors, just a warning, something might not be supported. It will not cause the failure, but if there is any alternate things, those things will be suggested here. Here warning, map reduce job submitter, Hadoop command line option parsing not performed, implement tool interface and execute your application with a tool runner to remedy this. So this is the warning that we are getting. Then info, here we have input file format, total input paths, process 1, then number of splits 1. So some information are very intuitive, we can understand. Some are very not very intuitive, where you can easily understand the what is going on with that particular job. And this is how you will get. And the following file should be in the output directory, war and peace output directory. The actual file name may be slightly different depending upon your version. So this is how you will get the output file. You can see this is HDFS. How we are checking that? HDFS DFS ls command hyphen ls command will do the listing of the folder. And which folder we are listing here? War and peace output. You can see what are there present. We have underscore success, and we have part hyphen r hyphen 0000. That is the output. The complete list of word counts can be copied from HDFS to the working directory with the following. So this is the output that we have. If you want, you can copy that output into your local file system. How to do that? Using the get command. We have already seen the get command to get a file from the HDFS system to local system. So you will say HDFS space DFS hyphen get. What to get? We have to get this particular file var and piece output folder. Inside that folder we have a file called part hyphen r hyphen 00000. So that this file will be copied onto the local file system current directory. Wherever you are issuing this particular current command, that current directory of that particular local system will be having this copy. If the word count program is run again using the same outputs, it will fail when it tries to overwrite this particular directory. The output directory and all contents can be removed with the following command. Suppose if you want to rerun the program, then you have to clear this directory var and piece output directory. You have to clear, otherwise you will get a error. So how to clean up that particular directory, to remove that directory? Again, we have already seen the command to remove the directory, that is hdfs space dfs space rm. Okay, hyphen rm. This will remove, this is the remove command, and hyphen r is recursively it will remove, and hyphen skip trash, it will not make a copy of this. It will not be stored in the recycle bin. It will completely remove from the SDFS file system. So after doing that, if you want to rerun the word count program, you can do that. Okay, next one is the using the streaming interface. In the streaming interface, we will use the Python. So Java and using a Java, we just now saw how it can be implemented. Next, we will implement using the Python program. That see in the next.